Hi, everyone. This is Gina. For my report of future trends, I read the 2020 Education Horizon Report, Teaching and Learning Edition. I was particularly interested in the information that they had about transitions, which of course this is now not going to work, right? No, why would it? Okay, so anyway, they have this really nice thing about transitions that I'm going to bring us to. And in it, they speak about what's going to happen from the transformation when we have higher education with the ability to do it digitally and remotely, and how this is going to wind up being a situation where people can take courses in many different universities and they can exchange the students kind of like carbon credits, so that the viability of each individual institution is ensured and the matriculation paths of the student will be dependent upon the student, which sounds like an ideal thing. They say there will be different things that you can matriculate for a set period of time. You can come and go during that time. You can matriculate for life, moving as needed for their institution for additional learning. Going back and forth. I see this happening at the University of Shady Grove near where I live, where you can take classes from many different colleges on that campus. Because it's in person, you really can't get everything though. So I think that it would be really much better if this trend toward distance learning continued. And in this transformation page, they mention it kind of as a sub thing, that the reason that people are able to take these classes all over the world on an a la carte sort of basis is because they are able to do this from a remote point of view. I think that the biggest thing that's changing things in education today is the ability to do remote learning. Also, I think that they spoke about the wealthiest and largest institutions decided to set aside part of their endowment for scholarships for students who couldn't afford schools, sort of leveling the playing field. It also leveled the playing field of who could get an excellent education beyond who lived in that country or who was able to get to that location, which I think is also a very important thing that I believe is going to stay that way. The other thing that I thought was really interesting is that they spoke about students having an AI companion, somebody that they could consult when they got into trouble. I'm assuming it's kind of like those programs with the doctor where you try to diagnose something by asking questions back and forth. I really can't quite picture it yet. But I think that the ability to speak to someone when you're having trouble, that's going to be able to answer your questions and reassure you, they're saying it's going to lead to better mental health, which would certainly be a good thing. And it sort of, I'm a big science fiction fan, so it sort of made me think about Sonji on Picard, who is an android and is so human, she just, even cries. So all of this is to say that because we now have the ability to learn while not physically being in a specific place at a specific time, it opens up the possibility of building an education with courses from institutions around the world. And because we can now do that, and because we can now have the students not be the property of one university, but perhaps get certificates, as it says in this part of the report, so that they can learn just the skills they want or come and go as they need to, we're going to be able to reduce the overall cost of an education. And I think it has to become somewhat more democratic as well. It can't just be that the people who, from New England who can trace themselves back to the Mayflower are the ones who are going to Harvard every year. This is just, otherwise going there becomes, as far as I'm concerned, valueless, because it's just a self-perpetuating thing that these people come from money, they'll do this, they'll make money, and they'll go back to having money. So I think the better thing for education and for the world is for people from no matter where they are in the world to be able to have an education. So I'm very, I think this is a little optimistic as far as bringing the costs down, but I think this idea that e-learning and remote education is going to change the way people learn, the way they pursue degrees, the way they choose which path to take, is something that is happening already. And I think that it really does have a lot of potential going forward. So I was excited to read this, and I would like to be part of this transformation. Thank you.